Hey guys, so I'm ready to go. I've got all my Forever 21 necklaces layered up, like 3 of them. I don't think they're sitting perfectly, but we'll have to rock with that. My H&M new hat, an old Zara rock t-shirt, and my Mango leather leggings, and some Steve Madden trainers. So I better put my jacket on and dash out the door. Everything's taken so long this morning, so I'm getting a bit annoyed, but these things happen. Hi guys, so I'm back from work and Ash has actually got this rail down. Can you guys see that in the background? There's a rail, like a clothes rail, and he's got it down for me to hang clothes up and show you guys stuff, but I think it's a little bit wide, so I might have to not use that and get a smaller one. I'm gonna take my not my clothes, but I'm gonna take my jacket and everything off, and then I am gonna do an eBay tips video for you because you guys have requested that. So I will be back in 1 minute. I have made some notes in my phone, so if I look down it's because I'm looking at my phone at my notes. I've been making notes all week because I wanted to give you, I don't want to leave anything out. Whenever I do anything like this, I like to be thorough with everything I tell you guys. I've been an eBay seller since 2003. What am I saying? I've been selling on eBay since 2003. And I've learned a lot of things along the way, and I've made some money, I've made some losses, I've made some bad decisions, so I've learned it all, and I'm going to share my tips with you. And of course some of these things are obvious, but let me just say them anyway, because just to really like make sure that I know I've said it, and they're just so obvious. If I don't say them, people might be like, you didn't say this and you didn't say that. So I'm just going to say things to you, and I'm hoping that if you guys are going to start selling on eBay, or if you already do, just make sure you follow these things just to maximize your profits. I'm going to kind of run through them quite quickly and in no particular order, just because I don't want this video to be like super long. So yeah, and I also buy on eBay. Sometimes I try to find like vintage stuff or stuff that's no longer available in the stores, so I buy on eBay and I sell on eBay. Right, first thing is obvious: photos. Photos of the item have to be on point. That is your biggest marketing tool. So if you are listing an item, make sure that everything is well lit. You can really see the item really clearly, different angles, back, front, side, all the different views. You get up to like 12 photos, so just use them. Take all the different close-ups so you can see textures, materials, colors. Try to be quite accurate. Do not add any filters, because that's quite, you know, deceiving on what the color is. Make sure it's really clear what the item is. Another tip on the photos: if it's an item of clothing, it's worth putting it on. People like seeing things on so they can see and visualize what it might look like on them. And also for sizing, like sometimes a size 10 in Topshop is very different from a size 10 in, say, H&M. So I think if people can see on actual body, they can see that, you know, if it might fit them, and they're more likely to purchase or bid on the item. The next tip is really important and crucial for you to get a good price. You have to think about the time that the time of day the item will sell. Now in the UK, the best times of day to sell an item is evening after about 8 o'clock. The best day is a Saturday or a Sunday, and then sometimes a Friday. You've got to think, when are people on eBay? When are they on their phones looking at eBay? Or when are they on their computer? If you sell an item at 3, or the finishing of the auction finishes at 3 o'clock in the morning, people are not, you know, necessarily awake at 3 o'clock in the morning, so they may put a bid in, but you're not going to get any bidding wars at the end. That's when you can make a lot of money. If the item ends at a really peak time when a lot of people are actively using those apps and websites, there's more likely to be bidding wars and sniping at the end. So if someone bids like a high bid, then, you know, within seconds to go, there's someone else will bid higher, because sometimes all it takes is 2 people to have a bidding war for a price of an item to go up. You don't need hundreds and hundreds of watchers. All you need is 2 people that really want an item, and it will really, you know, make the price go super high. But one thing to note is just make sure it ends at the right time of day and the right day, because ending things at random times of day when people are at work and things is just not going to work. So always try and end your items 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock on a Saturday or a Sunday. Ideally a Sunday, if not Sunday, a Saturday. And auction length, let me just tie that into this. always try to do a 7-day auction as a minimum. Yes, you can do a 1-day, a 3-day, but you're just not going to be able to get as many people to view the item because, you know, people aren't on these websites every day. People might pop in and out of them once a week, a couple of times a week. So try and give it a full 7 days to really maximize exposure for your item. So 7 days, you will try, you know, people that are looking at various times, you will catch them all, and hopefully they'll watch your item and bid, you know, at time when they're online or on the app. Okay, now I'm going to talk about the title of the item. This is really, really important. When you are putting a title, don't just put dress, black dress. It's just not what, you know, people want to see, and they're not searching these terms. You need to think searchable terms. Think brand name, think what the item is an alternative name for the item, color of item, size of item, any other features of the item, zips, buckles, buttons, anything like that. But always if there's a brand name, include it. So for example, if I was to sell this hat, I'd put H&M black wool fedora style hat, size medium. So that way you've covered all bases. People that are looking for H&M hats, people that are looking for fedoras, people that are looking for a size medium hat or a black hat. So think descriptive and searchable terms. Think if someone is looking for a hat from H&M, what kind of words are they going to search for? So make sure you include them. Also, that leads me on nicely to the description part as well. In the description part, please include lots of description and, you know, explain your returns policy. Even if you can put measurements in there, even better. I know that can be a bit, you know, difficult sometimes to measure everything exactly, but if you can include measurements of a pair of jeans, anything that you're selling that's an item of clothing, if you can include measurements, your returns policy, smoke-free home, pet-free home if you haven't, don't include it, but make sure you do if you have got that. Again, include more detail about the item. You know, is it used? How many times have you worn it? What condition is it? Is there any bobbling? Anything like that. Make sure you're as descriptive as possible. Also, lead people to look at your other items, because if you put that, then they're more likely to go and look at your other items. You're selling a lot of items, put in the description that, you know, go and check out my other items because I'm selling loads more. Also, you can tell them to look at your feedback. If you have really good feedback, tell them to go and look at it. It makes people feel more reassured that if they buy your item, you are a good seller, so they would want to buy from you because, you know, you sell good quality items and you're honest in all your description. Something else you can include in the description is that you combine postage, because people are much more likely to bid on you know, a few items or a couple of items if you combine postage, because, you know, if you're just sending a couple of items in one package, then it's not going to cost you any more, or, you know, sometimes it might cost a little bit more, but if you explain that you will combine postage, then people are more kind of, okay, well, I'll bid on a couple of items, because actually, you know, you might actually end up saving on the postage, but people end up bidding on more items or buying more items from you. So combining postage is a nice way to, you know, like kind of attract more buyers for your items. Now the next thing is really important. It's to do with your starting price and whether you do a bid or an auction on an item or just a buy it now price. This is where it can be a little bit difficult to understand, like, my theory on things with here. If there is an item and I want to sell it for an exact price and I'm not willing to take any less for it, sometimes I'll do it buy it now. But an item may not sell, because at the end of the day, you might want to, you know, get, say, this t-shirt. I might think, well, I deserve £10 for it. I paid like 50. I didn't, but just as an example. But people looking at it might be like, no, that's not going to pay £10 for that t-shirt. It's way too much and it will never sell. So sometimes buy it now doesn't always work. But if it's a fair price, you may sell it. It could take longer than 7 days. Sometimes when I buy it now, things can take longer, unless it's a very sought after item and you put it on for quite a low price. Sometimes if you just want a quick sell, it's the best thing to do. So I put this t-shirt on for £3, it probably would sell very quickly. However, I wouldn't bother, because for £3 it's hardly worth my time. But just saying, if you want to sell things quickly, you need to put the price down a little bit, and you could do a buy it now. Things could sell very quickly. Within hours they could sell. With an auction, sometimes it's very tempting to start an auction at a high start price, like £20, £30, but it's not always worth doing that. It's worth starting at 99p, just because it does attract way more watchers and people to your item. As soon as people see a £20 start price, they just get put off. But if you start at 99p, you'll find actually if you get a lot of watchers, some of them are likely to even bid 20, 30, 40 pounds for an item. And if you know the item is a really nice item and genuinely of good quality and it's a sought after item, people will bid. I wouldn't worry. People do bid on good items. I know the worry is always, is it going to sell for 99p, the dreaded 99p auction sale, which I absolutely hate, because I just sometimes think I'd rather give it to a charity shop than sell something for £1. But it is a risk you take, and if you've done all the things I'm saying, then hopefully that won't happen. But if it's an item that's on trend and it's, you know, people want it and it's sought after, you should get a fair value for it. Generally, you know, if you end it at the right time and you've put all the good pictures, it should sell at a good price. It is a risk. If it's not a risk you're willing to take, then sometimes you just start something at a price that you'd be happy, the lowest price you'd be happy to take. But please don't be tempted to start things at really high excessive prices. It puts buyers off. So if it's, again, this t-shirt and you'd be happy with £5, start it at £5, and you may get bids for £6–7 and sell it like that. But sometimes if you start it at 99p, you end up with a lot more watchers, hence it drives the price up, and you may sell it for £10. And I have definitely found that to be true. When I start an item at 99p, you find that you get way more value for it. Next one's quick and easy. If someone messages you a question about an item, always message them back. They might be asking for a measurement, they might be asking for a fitting, a sizing question, whatever the question is, how quickly can you post the item, always reply. Because if you do not reply, people will not bid on your items, because it looks like you're not very proactive and you're not going back to them on their questions. If you don't answer their questions, they're not likely to bid or purchase your item. So always reply. Another one to do with costs is postage costs. Keep your postage costs fair and low. Do not go crazy on your postage costs because you think, well, I'll just charge an extra £10 or £5 or whatever. A second class in the UK is like £2.80 or £2.90. A first class is like £3.30. Just be reasonable. Obviously there's some packaging costs as well. If you're buying brand new packaging, then obviously there's a cost involved in that. But that brings me on to my next point. Do not buy brand new packaging. Always save packaging. When you order from any website, from eBay, from any other online store, any packaging you get, keep a box of packaging. Under my stairs I have a big box of lots of used packaging. I always open it really carefully so I can reuse it, and you know, when I sell anything on eBay I repackage it. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It's better for the environment. You're saving money on packaging. As long as it's all done nice and neatly and it's not falling apart and it's safe to send an item in the package, make sure you keep the packaging, reuse packaging, so you're not wasting money on packaging. You're saving some cost there, and just give a fair postage price. People hate paying really high postage prices, and hence you could end up getting negative feedback for that. If it costs you £3 to post something and you're charging someone £7, £6, £8, people are not going to bid. It's going to put them off from bidding, and also even if they do bid in the first place, they're going to give you negative feedback. So keep those postage costs low. It's really important. Always have PayPal as an option. Everyone uses PayPal to make payments and receive payments, so don't try and message and say you want to send cash in the mail or you expect cash or anything like that. Always have PayPal. People can pay you straight, easy. Make it easy for the buyer to pay you. Next one is feedback. Always leave feedback. Whether you've bought an item or sold an item, always have that communication open. It really encourages people, because when they can see feedback on your page that you've had positive feedback from buyers or sellers, then they're more likely to bid, and you know, people want to see that. It makes you, you know, gives you credibility when you're selling. So always leave feedback for, you know, anyone that's paid you, or if you've made any purchases, because you know, it's just a good way to show that your account is in good standing. Now when you sell an item, now you've sold the item, just make sure it's kind of basic, but make sure it's clean, nicely laundered and packaged and all of that nice stuff. Like, just think about when you receive a package, you don't want to receive something all screwed up and all like messed up. You want to receive something in a neat, nice package, and you know, something that smells nice, is clean, and not got food stains or anything like that on it. So just be aware of that, because people aren't going to buy from you in the future if you send, you know, dirty clothes. Now this point is really important. Sell in the correct season. Now what I mean by that is, if I have a little summer dress, there's no point in selling it in the middle of December. No one is looking for summer dresses. So always sell clothes, and this is just mainly for clothes, in the correct season that they would be worn in. You're much likely to get a better value for an item. So for example, if you're selling a pair of Levi's denim cut-off shorts and selling them kind of when it's freezing cold outside, no one's thinking about wearing some cut-off denim shorts. Those are the kind of things that people start looking for when they're going on holiday, or when the weather starts getting warmer outside in the summer months. So, you know, I have a box under my stairs, all boxed up items of summer stuff and winter stuff. I would never sell out of season. So even if it means I have to wait 3 months, 6 months to sell an item, I'll just leave it under there, because I would rather wait than sell an item for like hardly anything. A winter coat could sell for like £5 in the summer, but actually if you wait till the winter time, or when the winter's just getting a bit colder, you may end up getting 30, 40, 20, 30, 40 pounds for it. So always sell in the correct season, because you just make way more money. So I think that's it, guys. I've given you kind of my top tips of eBay selling. I hope that you did find them useful. They're the kind of mantras that I go by. I always try and stick to those kind of rules and patterns and don't adhere from them. And over time I have made a reasonable amount of money on eBay. I think sometimes I sometimes surprise myself. I'll make more money on than what I actually bought it for. But please set realistic expectations. People are looking for bargains on eBay. They are not looking to pay top whack, unless at the same time, unless it's something that a celebrity has worn, or, you know, if someone has worn it, they might be like, it might become, you know, it might be an item that's been in the media a lot and you happen to own it. And it's a good time to sell it as well, because if it's been seen on, I don't know, like Meghan Markle, or I don't know, like Kim Kardashian, or some celebrity has worn an item that you happen to own from Topshop or something, it's a good time to sell it. If you're not wearing it anyway, you may as well sell it. You may end up making quite a lot of money. Be realistic with eBay. eBay is not the place that necessarily is going to make you your millions, but it's a great way to just bring a little bit of extra money in. I sell things generally like every week. I'll have things on the go that I'm either getting rid of, because I'm always changing things around in my wardrobe, because, you know, styles change, trends change, I change. So sometimes I'll do a lot of shopping and I'll realize actually some of the stuff I own anymore is not me. I've hardly ever worn it. Some of the things still have tags on. Naughty me. But yeah, so that's what I think is key to eBay selling. Now, if I've missed anything out, please comment it below. Any other tips that you guys have? Is there anything I've missed out? Please tell me, because I always want to learn as well, and I always want to, you know, get the maximum out of my eBay that I can, and share with the community. All the guys watching this video, I'm sure everyone would like to get selling on eBay and make a little bit of extra cash, because summer holidays are coming up. So whether you're saving for something, it's a great way to just, you know, get a bit of money together from stuff that you may no longer need. I love you guys loads. Thank you for watching. As always, I'm going to take this hat off, and now I'm going to make a cheese and cracker yummy and chutney board with ash, and have some port and just relax and wine for Friday night. Love you guys loads. Mwah! Thanks for watching. Bye.